Good morning, everyone. This is Baja Pips. Today is Monday, November 11th, 2024. It is 10:58 a.m. Eastern China Time. Happy 11/11 for those of you that are going to be shopping today for those wonderful deals. I'm going to get started with my Monday Asian session trading. I'm going to be looking at various markets. Start off with the metals, get into some crypto, look at some Forex. And I normally do stocks during New York Open. So right now I'm just going to leave that alone until after today's NYSE Open. But I'm going to get started. And in front of you right now, you can see some gold. Camera to the side. So yes, this is gold spot. And for those of you that follow up with me, you know I trade certain patterns. This is what I'm looking at right now. Is called a TC South. And I'm going to just basically be breaking down top-down analysis. I'm going to be looking from the daily and 4-hour time frame as my macros. And that's going to give me my fundamental bias to get into my 5-minute time frame. I only trade 5-minute, 4-hour, and the 1 day when I'm looking at the Asian session. When I'm trading the London and New York session, I'll reserve that for scalping. So no scalping, no 1-minute trading during this time. The reason why is the Asian session is extremely low liquidity. Low liquidity means that the 1-minute chart has very little action as compared to the other time frames. And I just don't want to trade in an area where there's not many opportunity. The 1 minute blows up when the markets are volatile, when the major players step in, and Asian session is just not it historically. So I've been trading for 14 years, and all of my 14 years, the Asian session is not a session to scalp. Never changed. It's always been the same. And those are my rules. Those are my guidelines that I abide by. So as of right now, I'm going to be looking at the 5-minute. This is the 4-hour time frame. You can see by the x-axis on the right that this is going from the 5th to the 7th to the 11th of November. So you can see it's more of a macro approach. Each bar represents 4 hours. When I click on the daily time frame, I'll let y'all know when I switch. Each bar represents 1 day. So this is a daily time frame, and when I switch down to the 5-minute time frame, each bar represents 5 minutes, and that's just about it for that. Now I'm going to be looking at some setups, like I said, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to go based off of what I've been practicing, what I've been training on. And like I said, I trade the TC pattern. It stands for trend continuation. You're going to see that a lot throughout the charts that I look at. Price only moves up, down, or sideways, and it's either trending or ranging. So when you're trading this pattern, it's highly effective because you're trading with the flow of the charts. It's already normal price behavior. You'll never see price going backwards, or you'll never see it going in a circle. You'll see it going in a trend. That's how price moves. Trends and counter trends, and even counter trends are trends also. So just some little advice, little heads up before I start my session. So right now I'm going to be going through my watch list. You'll notice that I might pause it throughout various times of the video because I don't really need to waste time looking at things that don't make sense to you. I'm only going to show you the pairs that I do have on my watch list. And right now we're setting up with gold. We have a very nice RT South. What that means is it's a reversal pattern. It's the start of a trend continuation. So it's the very first leg. We're trading off the very first leg of a trend. So we're looking at the exhaustion of price in one direction and the potential. There's always potential. There's never guarantees. The potential for a reversal against that dominant move. So on this time frame, you can see that the dominant move of gold was moving on up. You can see that by the impulse and corrective waves that we have going on. We have an impulse up. We measure that. about 2%. We had a corrective wave down. You measure that. It's about 1.3%. So that was a corrective wave. It was a smaller wave than the preceding wave on up. Now we have another impulse wave that starts right when this bar goes above the most recent bar. Measure that one on up, 3.19%. So we have an acceleration. You can determine acceleration and deceleration by the most recent 2 to 3 impulse waves in a trend. This information is very useful because when price is accelerating, you can see that there's a higher probability of the trend continuing in that direction. When you see that price is decelerating, it's showing that there's a lower probability of price moving in that direction, and you may want to take some caution before getting into the trade. Maybe look for other variables that's telling you that it's not a good trade, or you need more evidence to back up the reason for getting into that trade. So next up, we're going to be looking at the next. We can see visually that this red bar, this wave size coming on down from right here to right here, it's only about 1.19%. So it's clearly smaller than that last impulsive wave. Now we have a corrective wave that was too small, and we have sellers taking over. Now this pullback is a little bit complex, so I would have left it alone for the next impulse. But if you did take this, it is a trend continuation north. This is the first TC that you see right here. Price accelerated, which means that off the next TC north, I may be interested in taking, and that happened on Friday the 25th. You see price edged up. It triggered another TC. Measurement tool alongside. See, it went up about 1.37%. So that was a huge deceleration on Friday. That led into Thursday, or Monday, and see that the buyers are no longer in favor. Remember, I just said a few minutes ago, deceleration is when price waves start getting smaller. Measure the last 2 to 3 waves. That's all you need. You don't need to measure all these waves in the past, just the most recent ones. And as you can see, this wave right here is my trend line tool. This was an acceleration from this little minor up bump. I don't really consider this a wave. It's more of a bump, but it did move on up, and buyers attempted to push it up. That was a TC failure, TC North failure. So sellers came in, but there was not enough evidence to take a short yet. There was no RT, there was no selling, there was no counter move. It was just data. The chart's gonna print out data all the time. It was just information, and that's all it is. Feeding into what happened next. We see that there was an acceleration. I should put this right here at the start, so yes. Then we have a slight deceleration on that last upwave. All right, and then we have sellers coming in, and it knocks out these pivot lows. I'll mark this off. These are swing lows, and if you've been working with me, you're a client of mine, you understand what swing highs and swing lows are based off of our training sessions. But it did hit a swing low. It's too much to just explain in this video because this is for the public and also my clients, so there's no need for me to explain everything in detail. We'll be going on for an hour plus, so just know that this did hit a swing low, and price pulls back, and it has its first TC south, second TC south. This is the second wave down. The first wave down was right here. I use this trend line tool for visuals. Bam, that was the first wave down, pulls back. We have a second wave down right here. You can see the huge acceleration. That wave down is second wave down is much larger than that first wave down. We have a pullback, and now we have a TC south right here. I call this an RT. It's more of an advanced move. I'm not going to explain that to y'all right now. It is a counter move reversing into a new impulse wave. So you can see that the sellers are taking over, the buyers are no longer in control, and we can aim for, I like to aim for at least 2.5 R on the bigger time frame, but when I'm trading on the 5 minute, I'm going for 5 R minimum. So now we're going to go to the 5 minute now that we have our fundamental bias and everything marked up. If I were trading the 4 hour only, or this is the daily only, that's what I would get set up with. Now, when you're trading this type of style, you pick one of the major time frames, and then you go down to the 5 minute to get your entries. So this is for the patterns, the longer term, so we can get that really nice explosive move. Like this one, we're gonna get a really nice drop, really nice explosive move to the downside, and that's gonna be about 3.3% to the downside. It could be more, but that's just the minimum I'm looking for. And along with that explosive move, now I'm not going to go to the 4 hour because I already found a pattern. I only use a 4 hour if the daily's not there, but 4 hours is also pretty much going to move in alignment with the daily. The higher the time frame, the more dominant it is, the stronger it is. So you go with a higher time frame bias. But if I didn't find a setup on the daily, I would go down to the 4 hour. Maybe we're in some congestion on the daily. The 4 hour would have some more setups in detail. So it's just another time frame I use alongside, but the daily shows something, I'll go with the daily over the 4 hour. And you can see the 4 hour is also showing a TC South. That exact trend that I just drew, it just shows it in more detail. So every bar is 4 hours, and you can see a pullback, very clean trigger right there, and it already started off a little bit earlier, so you'd be in the money by at least 1 hour right now if you did take that short. Now we're going to go down to the 5 minute, finally look for a setup, and there we go. There's a setup. I'm a little bit late to this setup, but it is a TC South. It's a little bit of a complex wave on up because it's not the crispiest, not the cleanest, I would say, but it is a very, very okay. It's all right. It's a decent TC South. I'll put my stop loss right above 26.73, and this will be my first trade. 26.73. I want to make sure my risk is assessed. If I like the PA coming into this, then I'm gonna use higher risk. I don't risk any more than 1% per trade ever. On my scalping, on my intraday trading, on my swing trading, never more than 1% per trade. Talk about that in another video. But let's just look at the PA coming into this before just jumping in, and I'll explain what I see. We were ranging for quite some time. The range was okay. We have some whipsawing, we have some grindy movement. So that's what I'm gonna mark off right here. Range has been whipsawing, grindy movement. And has it been choppy? That's what I'm gonna ask myself next. We had some chop. Oh, choppy range, and this is all facts, evidence that you can use towards your decision making. So right now I'm collecting the variables to get into my trade, and I'm explaining the range has been whipsawing, we have grindy movement, we have a choppy range. All of that is variables that I can put. Now, I'm gonna look for evidence supporting my trade because that's all I really see on the downside, on like the negatives. It's been low movement, choppy, grindy, early morning until recently. Now, the past couple hours, we have a nice trend on down, pullback, TC has been working. You can see that. So that's what I'm gonna say next. Recent triggers have been working. Recent triggers have been working. And what I look for is I look for evidence that my setups, my patterns that I trade have been showing good movement, good signs. And then I'm just gonna make sure that my risk is solid. So I'm gonna risk no more than 0.7%. because that's all I can really see right now. 0.7% stop loss is going to be 2673. And it's just an estimate. It's not really has to hit that area. I can get out earlier or later. And then when I'm ready, I market order. So I'm getting ready to set and market order. And if you are trading with me on TradingView, you know how to set the market order. You have your trading panel to the right. You have 3 types of orders. It's the market order, the limit order, and your stop order. We're going to trade market order when we're looking at the 5-minute or 1-minute time frames. You can use stop orders if you're trading a 4-hour daily, a higher time frame. And limit orders, I don't really like using those because I'm basically betting that the market is when the market is going against me, and I have to kind of hope and expect a lot more than stop orders. Stop orders are only triggered when it's going in your favor. So the benefit of stop orders is that the market's already moving in your direction of that you're projecting. And so you have the momentum in your favor. Limit orders, you don't have the momentum in your favor, and you're kind of counting on a bounce. So for me right now, we do have a little bit of conflict, like I said, but I do like this trade setup. It's just that coming on down into this trade, I see a minor conflict. It has basically this last wave on down. I'll highlight this for you all to see. This last down wave, quite kind of big. We do see a slight acceleration from the one before, but it's a deceleration from that first one. We have a tiny complexity in the pullback, but it's not super complex. And I like this trade overall. And if I don't see much going on there, I don't have a strong reason to not take the trade. Besides the fact that it was chopping and whipsawing a little bit earlier, I don't have any other evidence supporting not going in my favor. So there we go. I'll take a trade. And everything is there. I am officially in this position. Now, I give myself some space. So I would like to have gotten in at 11 o'clock, as you all can see. 11 o'clock would have been my ideal entry. But because how would I put it? Because I am a little bit late, I'm like 10-15 minutes late. I have to just take accountability for being a little bit late to the setup. I was setting up my camera and my recording, not blaming y'all at all. It's just, if you're late, just be realistic. Where would you get it? Where is the ideal entry? And are you too late to the trade? I'm not too late to the trade, so I took the trade. Now I'm gonna go back and take a screenshot of this on the larger time frame, because I like to just have all my notes all in one. You can see that right there. And download that image. All right, so I just want to document this all, and I always do that with my trading. Take my screenshots. You can have somewhere to post it, because you always want to take track of all your trades. You want to know your winners. You want to know your losers. You want to know everything. You want to have visual notes with detailed writing explaining why you got into a trade, why you didn't take a trade. That's what you study with. I don't know if this is going to be a winner, so if it's a loser, at least I can see what's happening. And right now we are kind of triggering towards that north side. So I'm going to trim my stop loss right now. My stop loss will pretty much be trailed, and I'm reducing my risk. So in just a moment, you're going to see that my risk has been reduced. And this is something that you can do after the position is already running. So this would have been the original short right here. I'm just going to do a little slight measurement, and my trailing stop loss is now going to be reduced slightly above these highs that we have going on right here. I use a little bit of space for spread because I don't know, Forex has a lot more tricky spreads then stocks. And then look at this. Beautiful potential, but we don't know if this is going to work out. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to have to accept that. Look at this. This is why I love using the 5-minute time frame. We have, I mean, this is 25R. That's ridiculous, obviously. But it is a potential. My screen is lagging up a little bit. Apologies for that. But me personally, I'll get out after 5R, or I'll trail it aggressively after 5R if it doesn't go in my favor. So this one trade has a potential of going 25 times my risk. Those of you that are watching, you're like, whoa, 25 times your risk. That sounds surreal. But I just broke it all down in front of you. This is why I like having these recordings. The recordings are there to show you all the potential, the possibilities of a trading plan that is executed as planned. When you study, when you train, when you put yourself in a hot seat, take hundreds and thousands of losses, like it's gonna be a journey, but you're gonna make money along your journey. It's not like you always have to be a straight loser. It's just that you're gonna make more and better profits as you get better at this. So with me, I'm not the best, but I am showing y'all potential that I don't normally share neither. This is why I love swing trading. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna delete this big box because I already have it screenshotted, and now we have our trade. So I did all that in front of you and showed y'all one trade. I don't have to look at other pairs because usually once I'm in my trade setup, my ideal one, I'm gonna stick to that. I saw some setups on Bitcoin. I'll break that down later if I want, but there was just some major conflicting factors. One of my main reasons why I didn't like Bitcoin earlier was that it was triggering and the stop loss was a little bit too large. So that's why I didn't take that trade on Bitcoin. But right now, we're gonna just be patient, wait. This could be a loss, but I do have an hour and a half left of the Asian session to trade. I usually get out around midnight Eastern Standard Time. There's been daylight savings time, so I'm early. If I take a loss, I can always opt to get back in. One thing you're gonna notice when I trade during this session is I only go with the fundamental bias, so there might be moves to the upside, but I'm not trading in the direction against what the larger time frame is showing. I just don't like doing that outside of the 1 minute. The 1 minute you might see more counter moves. I might trade against the longer term. That's the 1 minute, has different parameters. But on the larger time frames, I'm never trading against a fundamental buy. So this one was triggering south. We had a trade set up to the downside. That means most trades or triggers to the north side is going to be failures. It's going to fail most times. So it's just wasting money, it's wasting time, and it's wasting my confidence because my confidence goes down if I'm taking trades that I know I shouldn't take and I take a loss. Losses are okay, they happen, and I highly advise get out when you plan on getting out. Don't hold through a loss. Like you all see, I don't like holding through pullbacks, and so I have trailing stops. So right now what you see is at minus 337, that's a trailing stop loss, meaning that if price goes on higher than that, it's telling me that the bulls are kind of coming in and it's triggering a TC north to the upside. And I don't like to hold through trades that are conflicting. So I can get out earlier. So throughout my journey, I created, I created rules that allows me to supplement from my emotions. Fear, FOMO, multiple different emotions when price is going against me. So I have reasons to get out early now after the trade is moving, after I have more evidence that's building up, after I get into the trade. That is part of the refinement process. So when you're training with me, I teach you how to trade the strategies, identify the context, trade the strategies within it. And I also teach you how to refine your strategies afterwards, because no one strategy is perfect. We're always going to go through these losses, and we're going to be, we're going to learn from the losses. So when you're taking the setups that I teach you, they're not perfect. Actually, they're going to have a lot of points where they fail. This is where the real learning comes in. You're going to really be learning through applying these strategies through various markets and market conditions. So you're going to be able to learn through all of it. And you have to have the patience to sit through. So me, I have to sit through this. I don't know if it's going to be a winner or loser. Y'all can see it's hesitant. So there is a chance that this could hit my stop loss. It's just not really doing much right now. And usually when I get into a trade, I don't expect it to go directly to my target in a linear fashion, but I do expect it to take off and at least put me in the money kind of soon. Because that's normally how my winning trades look. Like, I'm usually in the money within a couple bars, and I stay in the money. And right now, I'm just entering the money. So now I'm starting to see good. It's a little sigh of relief for me. I'm in the money now, and I'm gonna look to trail that stop to break even, but I don't want to do it yet. So as you can see, the trailing stop is kind of like, it helps control my emotions. I am rewarding myself as well when I'm using trailing stops. I reward myself while price continues to move in time, forward in time. So for being patient and for following my rules, I trail my stop, and I have rules for trailing my stop. So there's rules for all of my actions. And if I don't know something, I'm not touching the chart. So I don't know what's happening yet, but I need price to continue to drop more in my favor before I'm able to trail my stop. If I do it now, it's too close to the market, and there's a high chance that the current price could kind of just meander through this little zone right here and hit my stop prematurely before taking off. I used to hate that. That was one of my mistakes. I was too eager to protect my capital. And these are all emotions. You have to get over it. That's why you practice and you train. And at least I can show you all in real time how I control my emotions. This is more detailed. The reason why I'm recording this today is this: I just woke up and decided to record. It also helps my community that supports me and believe in me and trust me. I break this down all the time. I have previous videos, but I'm presenting in a more professional manner these days because I have practiced to record. I've been recording for a while. You can see through my older videos, I was kind of amateur at it. I wasn't explaining things as much. But as I continue to record and I continue to train students, mentor, be a good coach, I'm able to explain things better. And yeah, it's just something that I like to do. I'm not trying to come off on anyone. I just do this. This is my everyday. I've been seeing this for a long time now. Believe it or not, I practice these setups, I said, more times than you could think. But we're gonna see what happens. Currently up 148. Looking real good, but I need to see that momentum. I need to see stronger magnitude towards the downside before I trail my stop. If not, we're gonna leave it right there. But it's looking good. I'm almost risk-free. And when I'm risk-free, that's one of the biggest sides of relief. It's just like, no matter what happens, I'm not losing money. That's a good emotion to have. Now you don't really care what happens. You did the hard work at the beginning. I still need this to drop further. Can't trail it yet, but within the next 10 to 15 minutes, I can definitely trail that to break even. What that means, break even means that just I'm bringing it to my entry. So originally y'all saw that I was risking like 700, 600, 800. I forgot. I'll look at the recording. You go back to the beginning, you'll see what I risked. Now I'm only risking 337, which is about half. Now In a few minutes, you're going to be able to see as price goes in my favor, I'm going to take that half and I'm going to cut it down fully. So that is a risk-free trade. That means no matter what the market does, even if it goes back against me, I'm getting out at a much, it's basically risk-free. Like, that's free bands. So no matter what happens, it's free money. Understand? I took the risk. This is what I practice, how to get risk-free. Before learning how to make money and all of that, I had to learn how to protect my capital. I had to learn how to become risk-free. So first it started off with, okay, let's accept losses. Then I continued to refine. After accepting losses, I trained myself to cut my losses. So how can I reduce this loss by half over time? I had to take more losses to learn. And then after cutting my losses down by half, I learned to cut it down by 2/3. And eventually I learned how to become risk-free. This is good practice. Trading the same setups over and 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 over again. Okay, there was no lag in that. Trading the same setups over again. And yeah, just be patient. Time will tell. That's the best teacher right there is experience. And I had to go through that. This could be a loss as well. I don't see why it would be lost, but that's something that I would screenshot later and update myself and the public. I post publicly because it's more like public humiliation. I don't like to humiliate myself, but it allows me to take accountability for the trades that I take. So I have a space to share it with. I have my social media accounts that I post my trades. It's not to flex. It's just to show that I stand on business. I stand my ground and I'm like, this is the trade I take. This is what I'm going to be uploading to the world, to the public to see later. So let me make sure that I don't do anything silly because the world is watching. And yeah, it's like why I like recording myself too. Because we do have, as humans, we do have a tendency to lie to ourselves. You know, we want to protect our ego. We want to protect our beliefs that we are gonna be great. And it's okay to want to be great, but we do lie to ourselves from time to time. And that's a part of emotional management and control that I do teach my clients in coaching. You can see the coaching is more than just strategy. It's a lot of psychology. Psychology is one of the biggest factors in trading, and that's what I had to deal with. My last post, I'll put it down below, but it was a winner from yesterday. I was trading and tearing up Bitcoin. I said that I had to go through 10,000 emotional battles. That's just a random number, but thousands and thousands of emotional battles throughout this journey to get to where I am now at a calm state of mind. Tranquility is one of the goals of trading. You should be peaceful and at peace with your trading. You should understand your performance. You should be okay with winning, okay with losing, and you should delay gratification. You don't want to be sitting there hoping to win all the time. It's gonna come. Consistency is gonna come in time. It's not gonna come right away. You're not gonna make a lot of money today, tomorrow, next week after you just learn something. No. It could take months, it could take years. It all depends on you. It takes time. Like I said, it could take months, it could take years. But the learning part will only take a few weeks. As long as you actually commit to learning and are willing to risk that capital in your education and pay for some mentorship. I've been preaching this since day one, and I still stand by that. I had a mentor at one point in my life that actually helped. I had multiple mentors. My first mentor wasn't really a mentor. I bought his course, and he was not there. So I didn't have anyone. I was a good student. I tried to learn, but I didn't have anyone to actually guide me through the information that was presented. So I had to learn it myself, and I was just stuck on a lot of stuff, and it was frustrating. So I tried to learn for like 2 years from this one way of trading, and it worked out eventually, but I had a lot of questions that I couldn't ask anyone. So I was very timid every time I traded that way. I didn't like to live like that. I didn't want to live the rest of my life with a lot of unknowns in the way I trade. So I stopped trading that way, and I went shopping again, and I found a better coach. I found someone that was willing to give his time, obviously not for free, but pay for his time, and he was willing to sit down and train me on everything he knew. Everything he knew on how to turn me into a profitable trader. And there's no money, there's no amount of money, really. You can't really put a dollar amount on that. You understand? It's not possible. You can't put a dollar amount on that. You can't just say, oh, my food is getting cold. I'm talking for this whole time. But you can't put a dollar amount on someone else's teaching. You can't say, oh, someone, I'm only going to pay you this much, because that's just the value I see in you. That's disrespectful for one. And for two, who gives a shit? Like, I want to be demonetized. I'll keep my cussing down, but who gives a SH? Who cares? Like, that person is putting you on a game, teaching you how to fish, teaching you how to trade. Why are you discriminating against that person? They are you've been trying to learn how to make money in the market for how long? Did you find success? Nope. But there's a reason why you're looking for help. Why are you being ignorant? Why are you being stubborn? Why are you telling somebody that, no, I'm not going to pay you this much? If it's too much for you, then it's too much. Then look somewhere else for someone else. Good luck. But if this person is the one that is going to put you on, if they're speaking, if they're hitting all the right points and it makes sense to you, and you're like, I need to learn from this person because everything that they're saying I could resonate with, I F's with this person. Take the risk. See if they have some a la carte training. A lot of them do packages. I know professionals that do mentorships, but fortunately, these guys are like pros. Like, these guys are like 20, 30-year veterans. Like, they're not cheap. They got hundreds of thousands of following and followers, and they're pretty much famous. They're like trying to reach out to LeBron James. Like, hey, LeBron, can you teach me how to ball? LeBron ain't gonna see a message. So you think you're gonna hit up one of these pros? Like, I'm a pro. I consider myself a pro. I'm not the greatest trader in the world, far from it. But I'm a damn good trader. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, legit. And so I can say that there's some real heavy hitters out there. And you can't just come to them with a little small proposal. Here's $100. Like, can you teach me how to trade? Like, they're gonna look at you. They're not even gonna look at you. It's offensive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people are making millions a day, hundreds of thousands a day. You coming to them with $100, asking for their time. It's not, no. So when somebody's asking for help, don't be suspect. Don't be suspicious about it. Like, obviously, no, nothing is free. And you can keep looking for free stuff, but if you're looking for all that free ish, you're gonna be on the internet for years. I tried that. I was on this journey with a friend, and the friend wanted to look up free information, and I was stuck for years because I'm following the trend. I'm following what the friend is doing, and the friend is stuck as well, and we're looking at each other like, oh, you got that sauce? You got that new information that maybe I could use? And like, we're both confused. And instead of one of us just having a big enough balls to step it up and say, listen, I need to learn from somebody that knows what the F they doing. Like, I can't be doing this free stuff. I need to directly speak to somebody that has the information that can tell me what is going on. And that's what I did. I stepped up to the plate. I got some money. I got some, nice little capital at some point in my life, and I said, listen, it's all I have. Teach me. Paid my tuition, paid my room and board. I had to live. I had to survive. I had to eat. I was on my own. So paying for rent for an X amount of time without having to be distracted by a 9-to-5 job. Another thing I had to do, I was going through months and months, if not years, of no work, no job, and surviving off of my side income and side hustles and savings, all combined propelled me through that rough time in my life. I had to go through injuries. I had to go through operations, surgeries, all that, all by myself. And traveling the world, being abroad, on top of all that, like everything was just hard. But we all have our stories. We all have our background. That's what it took me to get to where I'm at today. And I'm here today paying it forward back to the community. Like, hey, I'm not perfect, but you learn from me, you're going to put yourself in a great position. You're going to be ahead of 90% of the world in this because you have took that step forward and accelerated your journey because you decided to pay for your education. The gambling needs to stop. The guesswork needs to stop. You're never going to get this alone. You need help. There's people out there that are offering their hand, willing to help. It's not free. And if it's free, cool. But you better ask that person a lot of questions. Why is it free? What do they want to gain out of this? So they're saying, oh, I just want partnership. Yeah, those are usually the ones that they got their own intentions beyond what they're telling you. But if someone's like, hey, pay me for this, I'm not perfect. I have wins. I have losses too. I have a lot of losses. Okay? My win rate is only like 70%. Hey, okay. 60 to 70% is my win rate. The best traders in the game that I know have between 60 to 80% win rate. Some great traders even only have a 30% win rate. It's just their strategy and how they trade. Those limit order traders, you're waiting for the market to hit your limit order and it's not going in your direction already and you're kind of waiting for a bounce. You might have like a 30% win rate, but you could still be a winner overall because you have all the principles of a successful trader. So I know I've been yapping, I've been talking this whole video. It's been very slow. This is a 5-minute. It ain't really much happening. I don't know why it's so slow. This is not a good sign. And personally, I don't like when the market is moving so slow and sluggish in my favor. It's a sign telling me that it's not as strong as I thought. The narrative is changing. It's shifting. It's supposed to be going in these. I'll show y'all right now. So the market is supposed to be moving in these nice waves on down, as you can see. And it just stopped. It halted right when I started getting in. So it's not like I missed out on anything really. It's just that it's changing context. And while I'm in the trade, if the market is changing context, I want to take note of that and I want to prepare defensively. There's very little I can do defensively right now. I could trail my stop tighter, but it's okay. I'll accept this risk. Can't do much yet. It's not necessarily telling me that the buyers are in control right now, and therefore I'm not going to touch it. But if we can drop a little bit further, this might just be the last pause. You see that? That's what I mean. It's going against me now. Now, will it continue up? I don't know. But if it does, I'm not going long. I'm just going to see why I got stopped out. And I may continue to look for a short because I have another strategy to get me back in. So My emotions used to tell me trade. I used to be an aggressive trader. I'll get stopped out, I'll take a loss, and my emotions would tell me, look, get right back in. And I needed a reason to get back in. So I I implemented a new strategy, and it's my second chance entry if I do get trailed out and the market just goes back in my favor. So you might see that in this video if it does hit that stop loss, trailing stop, and get me out for a partial loss. Or if it doesn't, it's just whipsawing. What did I note from before? You see this note right here? This is why I gave myself extra space as well. I noted range has been whipsawing, grindy movement, choppy range. Recent triggers have been working. Recent triggers, that's my offense right there. Recent triggers have been working. That's the most supporting evidence of this working in my favor is just the recent price movement. But if you look at the overall picture, this is ugly, and I don't like this. It's only because I'm starting to see it work out why I took this trade. You're never going to get a perfect market condition, so that's why I'm not fond of getting into anything else. But as you can see, it's not ideal. And now it's kind of going up against me. If I take this L, it happens, I'll take a partial loss. Partial loss. So I need to mark this off on my chart. Where did I get it? Right here. And yes, partial loss. Y'all see it. Minus 0.5 R. About 0.5%. Less than 0.5%, to be honest. But according to the red box, it was 0.5, so I'll go with that. Minus 0.5 R, and that was a TC South. Okay. And that's it. That's a note we're gonna put right there. Why did that happen? I don't know, but was I prepared for it? Yes. So you see how the price is starting to move back, starting to hesitate. I might get that second chance. I might not. But I'm gonna just mark that off right there. That's not where I got out. Just for visuals, just so I could take note. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle to complete. And on the next 5 to 10 minutes, if we can come back on down below this, that got me out, then I'm gonna get back in for my second chance entry. It's all good. We don't know how far it's gonna go up, so I like to trail out because, like I said, I don't like holding the pullbacks. Going through a pullback right now, I don't know how far it's gonna go, but I'll accept the partial loss. In return, maybe I'll get a better trade coming out of it. I'm gonna wait 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes left in this. I'll be back. I'm gonna check here. So this is the E-mini S&P 500. This is something that I like to trade occasionally. Very bullish. We got somewhere that look like all-time highs right now. Very nice trends, very nice waves on up, as you can see. Very similar to gold though. It was ranging before, and it started chopping on up, and then we recently started seeing a clean burst of movement this morning. And we have 1 TC, 2 CCs, we have 3 TC norths. So it's not too late to get in on this. Once again, I'm gonna look for that long position. I'm gonna see if it's too late to the party. Okay, always look for like 2R on these time frames, and it can always extend further. As you can see, it's not too late to get in on this trade. We're not even halfway there, so then I'll go down to the smaller time frame and I'll look for setups. Also look at that daily. There is no pullback, so there's no pattern for me. And let's go on to that 5 minute now. You should know how to orientate your x-axis. It's different on the 5-minute. Normally, you could just double tap. So double tap the right side of your trading panel, and it'll just auto orientate. Just want to recommend make sure it's on a logarithmic scale. Okay, not index or percent, regular logarithmic. And yeah, that's about it. And the y-axis, you can double tap on that too. And if you want to see anything more, you can kind of drag and click. I don't like this because, as you can see, this 5-minute looks way different than gold. This is just teeny tiny movement this whole morning. Yes, the 4-hour looks great, but yeah, this ain't even. I don't trade this. CC sell, fail. RB fail. Now this is chop, grind, everything that I don't trade. That's what we're getting right here. Leave it alone. So I discard that. Let's go back to the gold because we are at 11:50, no 5-minute bar. So let's continue looking at gold. I don't know what is happening, but I'm prepared for a potential second chance entry. So I'm gonna have to wait. No aggression. We don't know what's happening. I'm definitely not going long, so I know what I'm not gonna do. So it makes it easier for me to stay focused on what I'm going to do. I'm gonna set my orders up right now. I'm gonna get ready for a potential short entry. And I'm gonna put that stop loss right back there at 26.72.919. Same risk. Or same, very similar exit. But as you may know, I'm getting in a little bit higher up. Very similar to my last entry, but my last entry was down here. My next entry is up here. So I'm always going to make sure that my risk, though, is 0.6%. And I have my market order ready. So what I like to do when I'm anticipating a trade is I like to get my orders ready. So I don't know if it's going to hit yet. But if all the variables are lining up and all I'm waiting for is just that slight confirmation, which is my trigger. If you train with me, you know that I trade and I first look for context. I've been talking about that this whole session. How has price been moving before my entry? Then the pattern. So my first pattern didn't work. This is my second pattern, setup pattern. It means the same thing. Strategy is all the same thing. Strategy, setup, pattern is all the same. And I'm waiting for my trigger event. What exactly is getting me into that trade? I'm waiting for price to confirm that this pattern is valid. Right now, the pattern is not there yet. It's setting up, but we need that last confirmation. So I'm looking for that second chance TC. Let's see if it hits. If not, then I'm going to be waiting, but I'm not going to be distracted because this is almost there. Drops down a little bit more. Looks like it is. I'm getting in. No hesitation. Same target. Oh yeah, this video is a lot longer than I expected. Those of you that are still sticking around, I appreciate y'all. You're learning a lot, I'm sure. I try to talk throughout my whole video. I'm gonna take price action and give you all as much value free as possible. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, it sucks. Sometimes you might get stopped out a little early. Just for price to go back in your favor, and you're probably wondering, why did you trade your stop so tight? Well, this doesn't always happen. A lot of times when it does stop you out, it could keep going against you, and and then you're taking the bigger loss. So that's just practice. I'd rather get out early and see price go back in my favor rather than practicing getting out normal or late and having price take away more than I expect. Here we have a relief that it's no matter how far it goes up, I'm not losing any more money. And that's like the biggest sigh of relief right there. But I also know that here, all right, so it's triggering, but it's not really there. You see what I mean? Especially on TradingView, and I'm recording, so my connection is a little bit slower. Just kind of waiting for. I need to see price actually. So it's triggering now. This is what I call the trigger event. I need to see price really follow through. So I'm not getting it right away. I'm not getting it right when the bar clicks. This takes time and practice. I'm getting in once I see enough of a bloodshed. I need to see that red kind of pull through. You see how it's like bouncing? Boom, 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 boom. It's something you learn. It's psychological. Something you learn over time. You might be getting into some of these a little too early. The markets are very tricky. Very tricky. You learn it over time, and it's no longer like panic mode. I gotta click and get in right away before it takes off without me. It's also, you're not getting in too early, and it's sitting there like, damn, it didn't really look like much happened. So right now, this is one of those examples. I'm gonna zoom in. You can see price did not really go on below that last bar. I need to see it like really show proof, sufficient evidence. So 2670-ish, we can drive on down there. I'll risk that very tiny amount of pips, really not much points. I'll risk that just so I can have that additional confirmation that we are actually starting to go back down. But if not, fortunately, ain't much happening. So let's see. You see how it's moving kind of up now? You can see that green getting printed. That would be a little heartache, right? If you're in the trade already, you're not so sure if it's really moving yet, and it starts going up against you. You're like, damn, I'm in this trade. It didn't really look like it really went yet, and now it's going against me. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer. That's a psychological battle. So I said I went through 10,000 psychological battles. Like, that's an example. And we all go through very similar psychological battles when we trade. No one is getting in exactly at the right time, exactly at the same time, but we all go through very similar emotions. That's just how the markets are set up. And yeah, I can share this with many of you. I'm getting ready for my setup right now. Dropped a little bit lower, couple more ticks. I'm gonna go in for this short because it's triggering my second chance TC entry. Right now, I do need to wait for, there we go. I'm gonna press the sell right now, and I'm officially in this short. I'm gonna trail it, risking 595 on this trade. That's about 0.6% of my account that I'm trading with. And I'm gonna do the same target. I'm going for 25 times my risk. A lot of you are like, that's a lot. Large target, but it's possible. One thing I love about trading is crazy rewards. And I'm gonna see if this works out. This is going for 29 times, almost 30 times my risk. I'm gonna wait now, and I'm going for a minimum of 5 times, so I can get at least 5 times my risk, which is a 5-hour trade, and that's good enough. Now I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna be patient, and I'm gonna follow up with y'all shortly. Why not? I'm gonna have the video continue to record. So if I lose this trade, I don't want to take another trade in this pair. I'm gonna look at a different one. It's telling me that the conditions are unfavorable. It's a lot choppier than I that I was prepared for. And that's it. That's a wrap for this. Take the L. It would be a 1 hour loss. Before I lost 300 and some change. This one I would be losing close to 600. But if it is a good setup, you're gonna notice the difference in the price behavior. You're gonna notice that price is moving a lot faster in my direction, and it's not hesitant like it used to. I'm just waiting for everything to align, and hopefully this is the winner. If not, I'll take the L, charge it to the gain, and walk away from this chart. Will I trade something else? Yeah, if I have an endurance to look and see a better setup, I will. But sometimes if I'm like already trading a pair and I'm like not having the best day, I just walk away and I come back later because I do have another session I trade. I could trade one of the 2 scalping sessions, which is the London Open or the New York Open. So that's what I'm gonna get prepared for next if this is a loss. I control my losses though. So I have 1 partial and this would be another loss, but as long as you contain your losses, you control your losses over time, you're gonna have much bigger wins. As you can see, even if I do take this L, one of these wins is 30 times my risk. So you think minus 1.5 really matters when you're going for 5 to 30 times? Minus 1.5%, not even, compared to 30%. Kidding me? This is just a part of the game, y'all. Like, you don't win all the time. All my videos, most of my videos I'm winning, but I also want to show, I show losses in my videos, but I make it very hard for me to lose. And if I lose in this video, it's rare. It's a rare phenomenon. Like, I do take losses, but having a losing day is rare for me to record a losing day because it's not saying it doesn't happen, but I really don't have as much losing days nowadays than I used to when I started out. So if it's a losing day, it's a rare one. I'll still upload this. I have a lot of good information in this hour. But yeah, hopefully this plays out and I can take that dub and, call it a day, make some money. But if not, hey, there's some deeper mechanics behind the scenes. I don't know. I don't control the markets. I just trade my plan, my system. And I'm always uncertain. My heart's not racing. Like, I'm not out of control. I'm not taking any pre-workouts or any mood stabilizers or anything. No substance at all. I have my green juice. This is 100% organic vegetables. Came in a powder and I mixed it with water. I'm eating some oatmeal. That's my morning energy. Did some push-ups and a light little cardio and stretching this morning and got my mind right before my session. And here I am, just sitting in my computer chair and just trading. You don't need to do any crazy pre-trade routine. You don't need to be amped up on substances and, oh, let's take this capsule and do all that. And that's overdrive. You're overreaching. You don't need to do any of that. Most of my days is like this. I'm chilling. I have some water and some air. So just let y'all know, don't kill yourselves or overwork yourselves trying to get focused. It takes time. But yeah, let me change this song up. The music is done. So give me a moment. I'm back. So I changed the tunes. The track was over. Hope you guys like this song, guys and gals. Hope y'all like this presentation I have. I'm trying my best to become a better trader, but also want to be a better coach, want to be a better presenter, all content creator. There's not really that many people out there that are really given this type of exposure. There's no top secret to trading. This is what it is. I'm going to trim my stop now as the price goes in my favor. As you can see, no longer risking that 595. That's the benefit of trailing yourselves. You're going to be risking 475. Worst case scenario. And as you can see, as it continues to print in my favor, I'm reducing my risk. If this could give me a little bit more profits, I'm gonna bring this down even more. It's just been very slow this morning. I don't want to blame it on Mondays, but Mondays are kind of slow. Let's see if this picks up. Reduce that risk some more. I'm sure those of you that are following me, you're also being alleviated. You're seeing that sigh of relief as it goes in my favor. You're like, yeah, you know what? He's on to something. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like trailing your stops, it gives you that strong feeling of also you're not too close. There's an art to trailing stops. It's not something that's super easy to get, but with training and practice, I promise you it's something that you're gonna always trade with. Going against me, don't like this. I could opt out, but let's not leave it right now. 403. 403. I reduced my risk to the maximum amount that I want to. This is just not working out right now. It's chopping up like it was earlier, and I don't like that. So I don't want it too close to market because this is my last trade of the morning. It's 12:06 p.m. lunchtime over here, and I'm still not seeing anything ideal. It's been giving me a hard time this whole thing. So I'm just showing y'all how I cope with this. I manage my losses. This is not good, PA. This was okay. I decided on shooting my shot, taking the risk because I seen this. It looked solid. But unfortunately, it's getting back into this. So might have to take that L. And unfortunately, that's like a 0.7 R loss. Not 1 R fully. 0.7 R plus 0.5 R ish. It's about a little bit over 1 R. So as you can see, 1.2 R total loss is what maximum loss for the day would be. Trailing stops do pay off, as you can see. You reduce your maximum loss. You reduce your exposure. And I walk away with that. I'll be happy any day taking a smaller loss than. And it's practice. It's not always gonna happen like that. But over time, you're gonna notice these partial losses, they add up over time. And if you don't take partial losses, if you don't have a way to trail out if the market's going against you, what may happen is that you're gonna get big losses over time. You're gonna keep taking those 1 R, 1 R, 1 R. And 1 R times 100 trades, that's 100 R. If you're taking partials and you're losing 0.5 R, 0.6 R on average over 100 trades, you're losing 60 R. So over a series of 100 trades, you reduced your losses by almost half just by accepting partials. So it's something to practice. It is another skill, but it's smooth as heck once you get it. And you have to be willing to accept it. I always talk about practice becoming a great loser before you become a great winner. The wins are going to be there. They're going to follow through along your journey. But practice being a good loser. Know when to lose, know how to lose, accept losses, practice, train. You're going to go through these cuts and bruises, especially on your first month of trading. You're gonna have the heartaches. You're gonna have the roller coaster feeling, like panic moments. Like embrace it. It's a part of the journey. Trade with demo accounts, paper money, till those emotions are no longer there and you're ready to trade with real capital. Do not risk real capital if you're still learning or training and you have a long way to go. Don't. It's not worth it. Don't try to gamble it and hope because you know a little something. Think you nice. The market will always humble you. Even when you think you're really nice, the market will come back and be like, nah, bro, you ain't nice. You know what I'm saying? It happens. market will humble you. I had to squint my eyes a little bit to see where that wick was. I'm not trailing my stops too close to market. I could reduce this risk. Coral tree, that was it. Okay. I don't want it too close to market, but at this point, it doesn't work out. I don't want it. Feel me? Like, too late in the session. If it doesn't want to go, I'm not gonna fight with the market. I don't ever fight the market. I'm just gonna be done. Call it a day. Yesterday I traded Bitcoin, and y'all can see in my previous post. I'll attach it in the description below. But like 5 over 5 hour yesterday trading Bitcoin on the 5 minute, and that was like over 4 bands. So losing like 1,000 on a rougher day. You think that really matters to me? Nope. I control my losses. I used to trade on tilt, and there's a lot of traders trading on tilt. What that means is that they don't have maximum daily losses. They just keep trading, keep betting, and they're self-sabotaging themselves. So that's one thing that I want to show y'all that I don't do. And I don't recommend continuing to trade. Always have a daily maximum loss limit or a maximum daily loss limit. Know when to walk away. 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 2 losses in your session, 3 losses in your session. I usually set it for 3 in a row if I'm scalping, but if I'm swing trading or intraday trading like this, it's usually if I lose 2 throughout my day, I kind of just stop trading. And that will set your loss limit. That means that no matter what happens throughout the rest of the day, the market can't take nothing else from you because you're not trading. And we're human. We're not machines. Even machines make mistakes. But we don't want to continue to trade in conditions that are unfavorable. Like I said before getting into the session, it was kind of unfavorable. And we just have this stretch of favor. So I'm going with the offense that I see. I didn't do anything wrong today. It's just that it's not ideal. It's not moving that good. I hate this PA, y'all. I love to see it I should be deep in the money right now. I know my trades. I know how my winners look. I know how potential losers look. And this looks like it could be a potential loser. No guarantees, but I don't like this movement. And that's just what it is, y'all. It could win, it could lose. There's a lot of unknowns. I'm gonna just sit on my hands and wait. That's all I can do. Meanwhile, I get on my phone, so I'll be having my head down for a little bit. I'll be looking up. I don't recommend using your phones or being distracted during your session, but I'm pretty much wrapping this up after this, so I'm checking my emails and stuff. It's daylight savings made my start time a little bit later than normal, so I did take note of that. There was recent daylight savings in the US. I start an hour later. Good thing about living in China is that we are 12 hours ahead. When the daylight savings get pushed back, 13 hours ahead. But not too much difficult to tell. So right now it's 12:15 p.m. over here, and I believe it's 11:15 p.m. in the States. Do y'all see how slow it is? If you compare this to my other videos, you notice that my trades are usually in the money rather quickly, and it remains in the money. This is like really bad, and you can see how slow it is. I just want to show y'all the difference. Not every day I'm gonna be winning, and that's completely false perception. I don't win every day. I take losses in front of y'all in my session, but having a losing day is also something that happens. I just told y'all I have between a 60 to 70% win rate, so y'all should know I have losses. I don't hide them. Very, very relevant in my presentations that I take losses. Never hide from them. But just want to show y'all the reality. Like, how do you manage losses? Like, I see a lot of things, people on social media, gurus or just regular traders, and they hype winners. They hype it up. They never talk about how do you manage losses. Can't find it. Sorry. I can't find it anywhere. Can't find it nowhere online on how to manage losses, how to deal with losers, how to cope with them. There's nowhere. It's probably like 5% of the content that I see online about trading will discuss losing. Usually you'll see people say, cut your stop loss here, or cut losses short, let winners run, or some stupid common idiom. And I'm just like, there's more to it. Can y'all sit through a losing trade? This is a losing trade right now, but it's not a loss. This is a losing trade. Can y'all take a loss and accept it and explain what you will do after? Because I did. Trigger into the downside. Finally, we have some kick push. I'm gonna trail this. Not too much. Right here, 332. Oh, 0.6 R is what I'm risking. And it is a sign of relief. Sigh relief. But it hasn't Hasn't fully triggered on down there yet, but at this point, I don't like to hold through this anymore. Goes beyond my stop, I'm getting the freak out because it's not worth it anymore. Time is telling that this is no longer, this is going on this like at the hospital, how they have the machine when you're dying. Like this move right here is dying. It's not good. Whatever the market is going through right now, I ain't going through with it. I'm getting it. Showing signs of progression towards the upside. I'm getting it. This is how you read the markets. You can read it, but you have to be willing to accept what it does. You can't be fighting losses. You can't be sitting there hoping that it continues in your favor and only get evidence to support your bias. You have to be able to read the markets and say, I'm gonna get out there. And now you're able to you're not blindsided by your emotions. Your ego is not in the forefront. You are in control. You're like getting out there because at this point, the markets looks like booty trash, and we don't know what's happening. And I have this supporting evidence from before that it was chopping up, and it had this moment of nice moves. Now it's chopping up again. This could happen for the rest of the day. I have my daily loss limits. I have my daily time limits. If this doesn't move anywhere by 1 o'clock p.m. my time, then I'm done. I only trade for up to 2 hours a day. Scalping, swing trading, day trading, whatever it is. No more than 2 hours. Swing trading, I actually trade for like 20, 30 minutes. It's faster because you don't necessarily sit there looking at the daily charts all day. You look at your setup and you walk away. Check back later in the day or the next day, next couple of days. A lot less time consuming. You're looking at the larger bars, but when you're trading the 5 minute or 1 minute, you kind of have to be present. At least until it goes in break even, then you can kind of walk away if you want it to go to that 30 yard throughout the day, if it does. But for that first hour or two, at least getting yourself risk free. You want to be in front of that computer. Just be prepared for anything. Loads of crap right now. I don't like this. You can see the total maximum loss I'm losing is about a little over 1 hour. 2 partials is okay. 1 hour total. And I walk away. 1% down. That's the risk that I took to get a potential 5 to 30% in the day. So was it worth it? Absolutely. I'm gonna put this button right here. And myself. All this trade that was going against me now. Oh, maybe that loss, y'all. Today, maybe not. We'll see. Minus 0.6 bar. Call this second chances. I like to prepare myself emotionally as well for a loss. So we may not get that loss, and this might change in the course of the next couple minutes or so. But I like to prepare myself. So right now it's going against me, and the reality is that it may hit that trailing stop. But if it could calm down, then it could very much continue going in my favor. That's the unknowns. That's the truth. Like, y'all can see in this video that I don't know what's gonna happen. I never know. We don't know. And this whole prediction, I predict that Bitcoin's gonna hit 100K, or I predict that this move is gonna happen because of some news cycle that came out the other day, bull crap. That's bull crap. That's not real trading. You are delusional. I'm sorry, but you are. You loco. You don't want to be that person. You want to be able to say, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm totally fine with it. This is my defense is protecting me from losing my account. I know how to be a good loser, and I also know how to control myself. Best traders have that mentality, y'all. Sorry, break your bubbles if you think that predicting price is gonna be the way. It's not. It's a lot more stressful too. You're sitting there hoping for an outcome. Leave the hope behind. No, this job is 10 times more stressful if you're trying to predict and hope that your trade is gonna work out. Acceptance allows you to stay in the game. I can do this for the next 20 years. And as long as I'm accepting the outcome and the possibilities, then I can continue to survive. My headphones just fell out. If I'm trading, trying to predict price for the next 20 years, I'm gonna catch a heart attack. I'm gonna look older, way older than my age. A lot of stress in that type of work. But if I'm accepting the outcome, well, look a loss, walk away, and go enjoy my day. Got the rest of life to enjoy. It's a beautiful day today, sunny day out in China, and I started my day off early. I got my work out the way. I said my winners make up for my losers tenfold. Just don't matter. That is a better mentality to have. Allows you to continue to work in your career for a longer duration. You outlast those that are trying to become millionaires overnight and do crazy voodoo-ish to get rich. It's not a get rich quick scheme, it's a get rich slowly. Very slowly. I hate this crap, y'all. I don't know, this video is going on so long and I'm just like ready to cut it, but I don't really have much else to talk about right now in this video. Just ready to cut it, call it a day, but it's not triggering my stop yet. I can't leave too early. It's a part of the trailing stop. It allows me to not get out prematurely. Anything is possible. It could, in fact, go in my favor and all this profits and excitement. I'm not even excited if I make money. Just, greens is gonna show, and I'm sure y'all that's watching this is like, finally. But maybe not. Maybe we don't get that today. If you want to see winners, you can watch my other videos. I have plenty of videos with me winning. This video is not meant, it's not intended for me to showcase how great I am. I don't like that. I just want to show y'all, I want to keep it real with my viewers. And I have hard-working, paying clients that want to see how it really is to trade. So this is for y'all mostly. But I'm making this public for those that also want to. Some of y'all are skeptical, like, does he really do this? And why is he always posting winners? Why is he always winning? Like, I don't call y'all haters. I just see like, y'all just have a lot of questions. Y'all don't believe in the process fully yet. But yeah, I have a lot of people that are speculating. Why is he always winning? Does he ever just lose like a normal human being? Yes, I lose too. Yep. It's another day in the markets. I could get out now. It is triggering towards the other side. It's just that it's not something that I practice and work with fully. on these type of setups that I'm taking right now, second chance. So it's just something I'm taking note of, and I'll implement this next week. Over the course of this week, I'll just basically be looking at trades that are similar. So I said screenshots are important, and I can see maybe earlier areas of getting out. So like right now I can get out, partial loss, lose a 200 instead of losing 3. That would have reduced this average loss by half what I already cut it by. Then again, I'm not too familiar with that, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Actually, I need to take a bathroom break, so I'm gonna let this continue to run, and I'll be right. Let's see if it works itself out, or this is a day. Be right back, y'all. Back, y'all. Whew, what do we got here? Yeah, like it came quite close to my stop loss. Still nothing. You see why I have daily time limits? Who wants to sit through this all day? If it ain't working out, you gotta know when it's not working out, and you gotta be ready to get out. I'd rather just take the loss, come back another day, come back the next day, or come back later, rather than sitting through this, doing this all day and losing money, chipping away. I got other things to do. I got better things to do. I got into trading for time freedom, not to become a slave. So I have all of this in my coaching. I teach people everything. Hour and a half. Those of you that are still watching this, I really appreciate you, because you're learning the game. You're learning the ropes. Not just how to be a winner, it's also how to be a good loser. I'm sure this video has more value in it than most videos online. It's teaching you crap all the time. But yes, this is looking like it's going to be a loser. I'm prepared for it, but also a trailing stop is not making sense. I don't have rules to get out right now. I'm just taking note on what it's doing because I do see something that I can implement later on. Just letting y'all know. I only trade one pair at a time. Only exception is when I swing trade and I'm looking at the larger time frame, the daily only. That's when I swing trade. I can trade multiple pairs because I don't have to focus on all at once. But when I'm looking at the 5 minute or any form of day trading, I trade one pair at a time. It just allows me to focus more. Over time, as I get better, maybe I'll trade 2 or 3 at a time, but the best traders I know only trade up to like 4 at a time. Those are like market legends that I've been working with for a very long time. So even they have a max. I'm only doing 1 at a time because I'm still improving daily. I'm still, some of y'all, I'm a great trader. Probably the best that you've ever seen. But to me, I'm just another trader that has skill, that's working really hard. I do give myself that credit. I believe I'm a great trader, but I believe I have a lot still. I believe I have a lot to improve on still. But I'm a profitable trader. I believe I'm a pro. Why not? Give myself that credit. Damn, y'all, this is so slow. I really wish that it didn't take this long, but sometimes it could take this long. Bold spot on a Monday. Looking at the PA before, seeing if there's anything that I could have done to avoid taking these trades. Not really, y'all. I really did have hope. I really did believe in this. Just reviewing the trades, reviewing PA. That's why I'm going back and seeing. No, this is all very good. Very good up until now. The question is, why is it so slow and trash right now? Take a look at the news. I don't know. Shoot, some days it's just like this, y'all. I always look for supporting evidence that's going against my bias. Why is it not working out? What's going on? Did I miss something? I'm really looking at reasons why it wouldn't work in my favor. And right now I don't see any reasons why, so the best thing I can do after this is take a screenshot of the session and I can study, or maybe I'll identify something at some later time. As of right now, I don't see any supporting evidence as to why this would not be a winner right now. That's just a straight up truth. Like, I do still expect this to be a winner. I'm always constantly analyzing and assessing different variables while I'm in the trade. I'm not even trying to find reasons for me to be a winner anymore. Like, my reason got me into the trade. There's no need to defend my reason to win anymore. I'm looking for reasons why I should not win. I'm looking for reasons why I should not be in this trade. Keeps you more calm. And if you find reasons, maybe it can help you get out sooner. Maybe I'm like, oh, there's news coming up. Oh, so is happening. I need to get out right away. Then I can cut my loss right now. But if I don't see any evidence, and it's just like, I just have to trail my stop, follow up, it could really just be chopping. Like some major event is coming up later in the day or week. I don't know. is like a free hour and a half for those of you that don't want to pay for my sessions. It's a free hour and a half of just me giving y'all some value, insights, pro tips. Hopefully y'all been taking notes. I don't have the AI note taker. It's me showcasing my trading this morning. I taught you a few things this morning. Also remember taking orders. There's market orders, limit orders, stop orders. I only use market orders and stop orders. Stop orders are only used on the swing trading. Looking at the 4-hour daily, I use a stop order. Looking at the 5-minute or 1 minute, I have enough time to get myself in the trade because I'm usually monitoring and watching the price action when I trade. So I use a market order. Market orders are instant execution. Stop orders, you're placing a bet on where you want to get in if your setup is occurring. You can always modify your stop orders. You can move it around, so as time goes on, maybe price action is showing a different pattern or it's showing something different compared to when you originally place your order. So you can modify the order, you can cancel it if it's no longer looking like anything good. And that's cool as well. Very simple how the execution is simple. In this video, I'll show you how I trail stops. Showed you that throughout the entire video. Better explanation is for my clients. We'll talk about that in a VIP session. Just ask me the question and I will explain in more detail. I don't have time to explain in this video. So ask me the question and I'll answer. The market is very indecisive this morning. I was coming back to break even, trail my stop, nothing. What do you see that I said in the beginning? Whipsawing. What has price been doing? Whipsawing. So I expected this to go against me. I was prepared. I marked it down in my market pre-trade notes. I said it. Whipsawing. What has a market just did to me? It whipsawed. I expect it to go in my favor. I expect to have a winner. I would not take a trade if I didn't think it was going to be a winner. But it's whipsaw. And I hate these conditions, but sometimes that's all we're given. We have to work with it. Next time, I'm just going to stay out of this ish. If I see whipsawing, I'm staying out. I'm not trading. I hate sitting through whipsaw. I probably prefer not trading in whipsaw conditions. So that's something I'm going to take note of moving forward. How do I avoid whipsaws? Don't trade them. If I have to take notes saying it's been whipsawing quite a bit, yeah, you can trade it. You can navigate whipsaws, but I'm more than likely going to just trade. That makes sense. I need to take a shower, head to get some lunch, relax for the rest of my day. I'm gonna review these trades later. I'm a couple hours in, y'all. Skimming the game. This is my work day. 2 hours max. I like to be done earlier. I like to have 1 hour, 30 minute. I don't like this crap. If I want to scalp later, I can. Probably will not. I'm not in the mood to really scalp later. It's Monday. I don't like scalping on Mondays. These markets are tired. I can if I want, if I'm in the mood, hop on a session for like an hour or two. But if the day is already acting like this, 5 minute in Asia, I'm not even looking at later sessions. I don't want to. It's just a choice, y'all. We do have that power to choose when we have experience in the game. You can choose when you want to work. You can choose when you want to trade. You have 3 times a day you can trade. That's one thing I love about markets. Trading is that I literally have 3 times a day that I can trade. If I don't have time to trade Asia, trade London or US, but you do not have to trade all 3 times. There was days when I used to sit down all day and trade all sessions. And that's because I was trying to get as much experience as possible. I was trying to learn as much as possible. But over time, I'm getting older. I got a life. I got things that I do outside of this. I'm not in this office all day. So I want to enjoy that life. I work hard to get that life, to appreciate it now. Blessing, gift. What do you want to do with your life? You got 22 hours of the day remaining. You can sleep. You can go outside. You can stay inside. You can take a trip. You can travel. Whatever. You can take a day off tomorrow if you want. This is my schedule. So this was one of my ultimate goals before I became profitable. Was how do I want to live the rest of my life? Do I want to have so many hours a day devoted to trying to make money, or do I want to make money as quick as possible without rushing it? I'm not rushing anything. See, very patient. But do I want to be done after an hour or two and enjoy the rest of life? Yes, of course, we all do. Shoot, there ain't no golf courses around here, but those of you that don't know me from before, like, I used to golf a lot. My fraternity nickname was, I was in a fraternity, and they called me Chubbs Peterson from Happy Gilmore. I used to love golfing, so go to the driving range. Can't do that out here. There's not many ranges in China, but go for a golf. You like to go work out, go to the gym. I would normally go to the gym after these sessions. If you want to just go shopping, you can do that. Go to the mall or whatever. Your life. Enjoy it. No one's keeping you here. No one's forcing you to stick around the computer all day. Try to do this. Yeah, when you first start, you're gonna be definitely putting in them hours because it's a race, not a sprint. It's a marathon, but you are in a race. You're putting in those hours in the beginning, trying to get all this mistakes out the way, go through your emotional battles. Like, you are in this combine. You're training, you're getting nicer. Over time, you reward yourself for the hard work and the efforts you put in. That's what might have to cut this video, and I'm using a software. I don't know what's gonna happen around the 2-hour mark, but I'm gonna cut this video now, and I'm gonna start another segment. All right, y'all, I'm back. Just I wanted to make sure that segment was saved. If I were to put this into chapters, this chapter is called In the Money. Congratulations to y'all that have been watching my video from the start. I'm officially swimming in the money. You see the difference? This is what I was saying. Usually your prices moving in my favor. 303 is what I'm risking. So this is almost half. Once again, I don't want to put it too close to market because the swings in Forex, especially gold, there's spread. And if you get it too close, it's already whipsawing. And what I used to hate, absolute hate, is the market would whipsaw. It will come close to my, a swing area, and the spread would be like that. And the spread would knock my price, my exit, and then it'll go back in my favor. That's what happens a lot of times in certain markets. So you want to give the market enough room to work. Always just take note of that. Always give the market enough space. You're going to get out anyways. Put your stop loss in an area where you know for sure you're getting out, rather than trying to be too precise on your exits. That makes sense. You don't need to be. Your ultimate goal is to make money. You want to win. You want to make money. So why are you getting out so quick and sudden? Understood? All right. Whew, this is intense, y'all. I don't like sitting through this. I want to be risk-free and then update y'all later. So once I can get risk-free, I'm probably just going to cut the video and just pause it at least and press play. This is getting a little bit lengthy, so y'all got other things you can do. But at least I've been talking this whole video and giving y'all some important insights. This has been like almost 2 hours of value instead of just 2 hours just sitting here looking at my face, looking at the screen, looking back at what just happened. I think my connection died. All right, y'all, I'm back. Apologies for that. I just had my internet connection was interrupted, but all set. You have to prepare for that. Stop losses are super important because the internet was interrupted and price went a lot farther. At least I'm protected. It doesn't look good, y'all. It does not look good. I'm getting the freak out. I'm taking a partial loss, about 0.5 R. See that I can modify this later once I do the exact calculations, but I don't like the way this is looking. Sat here for 2 hours. That's my work day. Sometimes we're gonna sit there for a couple hours and not get anything. Sometimes we're gonna sit there for an hour and get something. This is a part of the game. Charge it to the game. I need to see price really move on up against me, hit that last low area. Looks like it will, and I'm gonna take that loss, accept the game, and call it a day, y'all. So, not my most ideal conditions. I'm gonna explain to y'all what I do after a losing session. I'm gonna talk about it right now. Pretty much, after accepting a loss, it's gonna hit my loss. So after a losing session, what I end up doing is that I assess the market conditions. I already said that it was choppy, it was whipsawing before that move first, but I need to be able to avoid that next time. So next time I do see PA playing out like that, I need to be better prepared for it. And that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna take a screenshot of the session. I'm gonna just assess and see what's happening. It's not going down anymore. It's chopping up like earlier. It had this stretch of good activity, but it was only recent until it stopped. So I need to just assess this, okay? It's been pretty much trash this entire time. And we just had this little period of success. And it was short-lived before we get into this chop again. That's the reality behind the current conditions. So minus 1 R today, pretty much. On a typical day, this would just be one loss. I normally risk 1 R per trade. So this is the equivalent of 1 loss. See, I got out earlier than I originally planned because it protects my capital. And yeah, everything was done in real time. I appreciate y'all that was able to watch this. I'm sure some of y'all was hoping for a win. I don't get the trade without expecting a win, but it's terrible conditions right now. Market is showing proof, substantial evidence that this is not okay. This is poor context, and I'm gonna walk away. I can look at different pairs. I can just scan through a couple more. Give me a moment. Let me just take this loss and screenshot it and come back. What I like to do at this point is I'm just checking other markets that had some potential setups but not as good as gold. And I want to see how I would have performed in these other markets, because that helps me determine if the overall conditions of markets in general are unfavorable this morning. And it looks like no matter what I would have took, I wouldn't have Bitcoin. I would not have taken much. It's a trade right here that does not work out. Bitcoin, I would have just sat through. I wouldn't have touched it. I wouldn't have touched it this morning. Gold had the setup, so that's why I messed with it. This is the reason why I didn't like Bitcoin. Stop loss would have been too large with this. 3%. That preceding wave size coming in. That pullback. 23.6%. So it's still moving on up long term, but it's not ideal. Bitcoin is also going through struggles. We check out a Forex pair just to see that. USDJPY on the 4-hour, we don't have a setup. It's like the price may be reversing towards the upside. So that's what I'm seeing on this UJ on the 4-hour. On the daily, take a look at this on the daily. Daily is moving up, so I'm looking for potential longs. So that's great. Now looking at the 5-minute, UJ would have been a much cleaner pair to trade. Like all throughout this time, I would have been able to have some winners. Bummer. See how that TC North, it's still effective. So now it's 1 o'clock. I missed out on maybe I should have done a little bit more digging, because you can see, looking at this PA, that's clean. That's what I like to see. Traded gold, and I didn't see this. You see how it's constant trending, even before it was coming out of like this range, but even the range had triggers working. You see cells working. You see reversal coming in. That beautiful, clean. That's what I like to see. And it's in alignment with my longer term. Those of you that stick to the end of this video, you see everything now. You see that there is winners. It is presented. But I needed to be a little bit more patient. What I did this morning was hopped on. I only looked at Bitcoin and gold. Didn't look at anything else. I should have done that. And this would have been a marvelous day. I would have seen at least 2 to 3 winners. So, hey, it happens. Just take a note of that, and I'm going to focus on that throughout my day. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day, but throughout the day, I'm going to just tap back into this and be like, okay, this is how context needs to be before I get into my trades. I need to do a little bit more searching, a little bit more shopping around. It's 11:11. I should look for discounts. I need to do more shopping around, and I need to diversify my watch list a little bit more, because I just hopped on UJ, and if I seen UJ, I promise y'all, honestly God, if I seen UJ prior to getting in, I would have traded this over gold. I would have just been like, nope, UJ. You see how it's showing substantial evidence that it's working. Let's go to gold. Gold, on the other hand, look at this. 4. TC South, failed. BP South, not good. I can read price action, but I can also tell when it's failing as a part of reading it. So you won't be able to read until you accept winners and losers, because the losers is also a part of the narrative. It's telling you what's happening. TC South failed. TC South failed. TC North failed. TC South failed. RV barely goes anywhere. On honestly, RV right there. Honestly, not that great. This right here, we have a couple winners along the way, but we have a lot more losers avoided. And then we finally come into this. That usually we look at the recent 120 to 200 bars. This is only 100 needed to buy action. The overall picture. We have moments. First, follow the chop. For that, drop, followed by it's looking like some chop. Maybe later on in the day we'll get better movement. But see, getting out early, I was able to protect that additional capital. Trailing stops matter. What else do I want to cover with you? But yeah, you can see that was the only period, kind of like up here earlier in the on Friday. You know, you do have that moment that it's working, but recently, also it boils down to choice. I chose to trade this today, and I need to just assess this. If I've been seeing over 60% of the session is choppy, whipsawing, maybe I avoid. That can help out a lot, you know. Also, my directional bias. There's lots of variables that I'm gonna just study and go over. Even as a pro, I still study and go over things. Take a look at UJ one more time. Much different picture. As you can see, before all this started happening, right here. So before all this happened, look at the past 120 to R's, about 160-ish. That price has a way different narrative. Context is showing TC North goes at least 1R versus goes back. We have a RT right there. South, TC South, works south for 1R. We have I'm going to take that. That fails. EP North, works south. RT right there works out at least 1R. RV, not RV, but see North reversal doesn't work out. It goes into a little area of chop. This is one area of chop that whole time where the price did not work out. You can actually see an RT right here, so it did start working out. TC South, TC North reversal. Take that one. Wave, this works out. I can read it. It's clean, it's clear, it's cut all the way through. Over 75% of this has worked out. So this is more ideal. That's something I'm gonna take note of. That's gonna be my homework. So I give myself homework at the end of the day, and I accept this loss fully and wholly, fully accountable for that. And y'all see me lose in real time. So it's not always about winning, it's also about losing. You learn from these losses. I broke everything down, how to refine. I'm gonna actually go into my refinement period later today. I'm gonna take a break and take a few hours off, maybe come back later and just do some review and assessment on how I can improve and improve this. That's how I get better. That's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all for the time. Leave any comments below. Hit me up if you want some coaching from me. I'm a trader that actually shows his losses and explains it. I'm not invincible. And yeah, for those of you clients and students that are working with me now, just take note on everything I did, and this is how you professional. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.